Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a new video on my channel. I've never done this video before or this type of video, but I have been doing a lot of thinking about my perfume tray videos, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit more to do with the perfume tray. I wanted to kind of involve you guys more in the process of me trying out fragrances throughout the month and what I'm thinking about them. I feel like I want to do 2 videos a month, so it will be bi-weekly, and it's going to be pretty much like an update on my perfume tray, the fragrances that I've been wearing for the first 2 weeks of the month, and then a part 2 for the fragrances that I wore the other half of the month. And I just want to give you guys like little updates, the ones that I wore, how I'm feeling about them. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amy. I do videos on all things girly, especially videos on smelling good. If you like that type of content, don't forget to subscribe before you leave today's video. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here with me today, and I appreciate you so much. With that said, let's get right into today's video. Okay guys, so I hope that you guys are going to enjoy these new videos that I'm going to be doing every month. So let's get right into it. I'm going to talk about a few fragrances that I have worn so far. The first one that I wore, or one of the first ones that I wore and I have really been enjoying, is Marc Jacobs Daisy Love Skies. I picked this up last year. This was one of those limited edition fragrances, and I picked it up last year, and I remember really loving it when I first got it. I wore it maybe a couple times, 3-4 times, and then I put it away. So I took it out this month to give it a little bit more use, and I am so in love with this fragrance, you guys. I hate how much space these bottles take up, but I just feel like every woman should have one of the daisies. Either, my personal favorites are the Daisy Love range. They're a little bit more sweet, a little bit more girly, and just easy to wear. I don't really like the other ones because for some reason they like to put a lot of violet in the, is it Daisy Dreams? I forget the names, but there's one that they love to put a lot of violet, and I'm not a violet girl. So my personal preference is the Daisy Love range, but this one is just so beautiful. It's so sweet. It's just so pretty. It's a little fruity, but then it's also like creamy and smooth, soft, yet you can still smell it. Very feminine, girly, easy to wear for everyday wear. Even in the evening, if you want to smell really sweet, you can pop this on. It's totally fine. But I definitely love it for every day, for running errands, doing groceries, just everyday basis. And as you can see, I have gave it pretty good amount of use. There's a dent going on in here, and I would definitely recommend this one for those of you who love fruity floral fragrances, very feminine, girly, but you don't want to smell like too deep or too fancy or anything like that. You want something that's a little bit more casual, something that you can wear with many things or for many occasions. For the most part, it's just a crowd pleaser, easy to pick up fragrance, and I'm loving it. So this one, I'm definitely gonna use it up. I'm gonna try to use this up before I move from here. So I'm going to give it more use this month and hopefully make this dent even bigger. But that is Marc Jacobs Daisy Love Skies. Next up, I also have been reaching a lot for my Ariana Grande Cloud, which is one that I used so much when I first started like my perfume channel. It was kind of like my favorite fragrance at that moment in time. And this is just very similar to Baccarat Rouge 540, except that Cloud has coconut in it. It's a little bit sweeter to me. Only thing about this fragrance is I have never been the type to care if someone else smells like me. I just want to smell good for myself. But I will say, this fragrance is literally everywhere you go. So this one will get to the point where it might get a little boring after a while because you just smell it so much everywhere. But it is a fragrance that definitely has good projection. I feel like whenever I could be in public and I know when someone is wearing Cloud, or they could be wearing Baccarat Rouge 540, who knows? Because sometimes when someone else is wearing it, it's kind of hard to tell the difference apart. But I just still think that I enjoy Cloud. It's just like a sweet, fluffy, airy fragrance. The coconut definitely gives it like this creamy, smooth touch to it. And It's just such a pretty scent. It's very, again, it's kind of like I would put these kind of like in the same category of just easy to reach, really, really like feminine and girly and pretty, and just beautiful daytime fragrances. So I am loving these two. All right, next up, I'm kind of like picking up all of like the blue bottles for some reason, but this is Replica's Bubble Bath. Now, I do struggle with this fragrance for some reason. I'm not sure why. Some days I absolutely love it and it makes me feel kind of like relaxed and clean and just, it's kind of like a vibe. Like you have to be in the mood for this fragrance. This does have lavender. I believe it also has coconut. It has soap accord, so it's very clean. That is one thing about this one, is that it's very, very clean smelling. And honestly, the name bubble bath, I can see how a bubble bath can smell different to everyone. This isn't really what I would picture my bubble bath smelling like, but it is just like a very clean, kind of like unisex type of scent. It's just such a unique combination in here, like a unique type of vibe. I feel like there's no other fragrance in my collection that smells like this. So if you're looking for unique, this is unique. It's just the DNA of this is very, very different, very aromatic. The lavender is very strong in here, but it's lavender mixed with soap accord. So it's very clean, very lavender. Denise Adore here on YouTube. If you don't watch her channel, go ahead and check out her channel. I'm going to put her channel in the description box. She talks about fragrance, skincare, pretty much the same vibes as here. I love watching her channel. Like when I'm just sitting down catching up on videos, I love to watch her. And she made a comment once in one of her videos and I really liked it and I tried it out and I totally understand what she was saying. She was talking about a specific fragrance. I don't know if it was bubble bath or if it was a different clean scent, but she said that she loves to use these types of fragrances for that time of the month. When you don't want to smell sexy, you don't want to smell inviting or like seductive or anything like that. Like you definitely do not want to give those vibes that time of the month. So I took her advice and I have been wearing those types of fragrances that time of the month, and they really help to kind of like uplift you, make you feel clean, make you feel just really nice, like refreshed, ready for the day, and you're not giving off sexy vibes because, you know, that time of the month is just like, leave me alone. So I feel like this is really, really nice for that time of the month. So I feel like Denise is very right about having certain fragrances that you can wear when you just don't want to smell sexy or attractive or anything. You just want to smell good for you and you want to smell clean. Definitely Bubble Bath is a really, really nice one to check out. Next up, you guys, oh my God, do I have to update you guys on this one. I picked this up, I believe it was like a year ago, maybe more than a year ago, because this is one of the first ones that I got when I really started to get crazy with the collecting. And I love it, or I loved it, but I never felt like it lasted long enough. That was like the only thing that kind of bothered me about this one. So I would wear it only to be at home. And this is Penrose Secret Genius. So here is the bottle. And as you can see, look at the juice. Definitely darker than when I first got it. So I have had a few of you comment sometimes asking me, or I've even gotten messages before asking me about a specific fragrance and telling me like, oh, I think that my fragrance went bad. It got darker. It doesn't look the same as when I first got it. No, that does not mean that the fragrance went bad. Don't worry. If anything, your fragrance is probably going to start smelling better, because a lot of fragrances that have vanilla or certain notes in fragrances will turn color. They'll get a little bit darker. And I feel like when they get a little bit darker is when they smell the best. I feel like all of the notes blend in. Everything is a little bit more potent. Everything is a little bit more dense. So if you have a fragrance that doesn't last too long on you and you recently got it, just give it a couple months and see if it gets a little bit better. This one definitely got so much better when it comes to longevity. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because the first times that I wore it, the performance just, it was lacking. So this fragrance right here is like a gourmand dream. There's chocolate in here. It's like a very cozy fragrance that you can wear when you're watching movies, when you're cuddling with your partner, when you're at home on a cold day and you just want to cuddle up with something that makes you feel just warm and sweet and just that type of vibe. And it's also vanilla. So it's like, to me, it's kind of like a vanilla chocolate type of scent. So the notes in this fragrance real quick, just so that you see just how much of an amazing fragrance this is. The top note is caramel. So it opens up with sweet, thick caramel. And then the middle note is white chocolate. So I don't have too many fragrances with white chocolate in it. Oh, and I love this so much. It just smells so seductive to me in a way. Very inviting, very yummy. Like you're literally going to smell like a snack with this. The base notes are Madagascar, vanilla, sandalwood, and cedar. So you're left with a very nice base that's not too cloying. So the fragrance is very sweet, it's very gourmand, but you also get those notes that kind of ground the fragrance out and give you just a little bit more. I wore this the other night to bed because that's usually when I reach for this, is just for bedtime because it doesn't last. So I put it on before bed and I wake up the next morning, I could still smell the fragrance on my PJs. I just kept doing my thing, breakfast, taking care of my daughter, whatever. I smelled it all the way until about lunchtime. So the longevity has definitely gotten better with this one, and I cannot wait to keep wearing this fragrance. Next up, we have Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Supreme. I am so on the fence with this one ever since I got it. Like, I keep going back and forth with this fragrance. I will say that the opening of this is what just like drives me crazy. It's my favorite flanker if I had to go with the opening. But then it really makes me mad because after I get that beautiful opening and like that warm, just I get a lot of tonka bean in here. It's beautiful, but literally like 10 minutes later, I would say, I don't smell it on me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I know that there's so many people saying that Good Girl Supreme is like their favorite flanker, and I'm seriously thinking that this might be a declutter because even though it smells beautiful from the bottle and when I spray it, it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, I love that fruity opening mixed with the tonka and like the deeper notes. It is beautiful. Like, just smelling that right there, it just makes me think like, are you crazy? You can't declutter this fragrance. But then I put it on and it disappears and it's gone. So it really, really pisses me off. That's a bummer because it's such a great opening. It's so sexy. It's kind of like a grown version opening of Juicy Couture, Gold Couture, kind of like that feeling that you get with that one in the opening. This one would be like the grown version of that. It makes your mouth water in the opening, but then it just disappears. So that's the problem that I'm having with Good Girl Supreme. I would love to know if that happens to some of you guys because I don't know what to do with it. And I'm sure that there's a nice dent in here because when I wear this, I spray the crap out of it to see. I just smacked myself in the face to see if I can get it to like last longer or for me to smell it. Maybe my nose goes anosmic to it. I'm not sure, but let me know your experience with Good Girl Supreme. Next up, I went ahead and wore So Scandal. And I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna get rid of this one because every time that I wear it or reach for it, I'll wear it, I enjoy it, but then I don't reach for it for a while. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm going to get rid of this fragrance, but definitely not. Because I got rid of Giorgio Armani's My Way because I prefer So Scandal. I feel like this gives me exactly what I wanted from My Way. It's so good. Like, I'm very, very picky when it comes to tuberose fragrances. They usually really bother me, especially when they're like super bubblegummy. If they're not blended in with something to kind of make it either creamy or just kind of smooth it out a little bit, I'm not going to enjoy it. So Giorgio Armani's My Way, I really loved it and I did use it quite a few times, but I felt like there was just something missing in that fragrance and the dry down wasn't my favorite. Like, there was something missing in there. Like, yeah, you would get this really nice like vanilla dry down with that tuberose, but there was always something missing. And I feel like So Scandal is exactly what I want because I get the tuberose, but then I get like this milky, creamy vibe to it, and it's just really, really nice. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's lactonic, it's just beautiful. I love this one. And when I wore this one, it lasted on me a very long time as well. So Scandal is not going anywhere for now. I've been really enjoying it. Another one that I enjoyed so much, and I did get a dent into this fragrance. This is Prada. This has musk. There's tonka in here, heliotrope. There's almond in here. You guys, this right here is the most perfect fragrance to go to bed with, to be at home. I put this on top of my robe because when I get cold in the house, my husband loves to have the house like really cold, and I get cold really easily lately. So I reached for my robe and I sprayed myself with this one night. And then like 3 days later, I put on my robe and it just smelled so beautiful. It still smelled on my robe. It's just like a very comforting, soft fragrance. It has almond in it, so it does have like this nutty touch to it, but it also smells like an almond cookie because it does have sweetness to it. It's powdery from the heliotrope. It is just so comforting, perfection. You do have to like almond. You do have to like kind of like that powdery touch in a fragrance. But this is just so beautiful, especially for wintertime. I love the color of the bottle. I feel like this is definitely not going anywhere no time soon. And it's very long lasting, but it's a very soft scent at the same time. It's not loud, it's not sharp, it's not spicy or anything. It does give a tiny bit of a spice. I think there's something in here that gives it a little bit of a spice, but it's very minimal. Actually, no, there's anise in here, which it is a spice, but it's just very soft. It's not like clove or anything like that. It's just like a soft little spice, but beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I think that Prada Infusion, the Amande, is gorgeous, and I would love to try some of the others later on once I move. But for now, this one is really, really beautiful. Then I reached for Giorgio Armani's Seafiori. And this fragrance right here is super beautiful. It lasts forever because I wore this also in the evening after I showered. I went to bed, woke up the next day, made breakfast, you know, just all of that. And I could still smell like every little movement that I made. This was there with me. It was just very long lasting. Now, this fragrance is the type of fragrance that I can only wear once in a while. I really love it. So many people compare it to like a strawberry milkshake, and it does give off that vibe, even though there's no strawberry in here. It's just like a very floral, feminine. I do get like a powdery vibe in here as well. I'm not really a fan of blackcurrant all the time, but I feel like in here it's so beautiful. It's a little bit softer, more powdery. I really enjoy it, but at the same time, I don't think this is one that I would reach for a lot. So only reason I'm not getting rid of it is because this has been discontinued. So I don't want to get rid of it and then regret it. But it's not a favorite fragrance at the moment, but it's a great performer. It's beautiful. It's feminine. It's long lasting. People are going to smell you with it. It's a lot of things. The first time I smelled this fragrance, I absolutely hated it. I remember I walked into a Sephora and it just smelled so sharp to my nose. The first time that I smelled it, I was just like, what the heck is this? And then I gave it another try. I ordered it and I ended up really, really loving it. So very, very nice fragrance. Next up, we have Jennifer Lopez Still. And this one is a really, really nice celebrity fragrance. Beautiful for home, bedtime, running errands. I picture this being a great scent for like going to the gym or doing like a yoga class or something. You want to smell good, but you don't want to like knock anyone out. And then it has tea in here. There's rice in here. I don't remember if there's lavender in here. I think there's orange blossom as well, which for a moment, all I used to get when I first got this fragrance, because I've been wearing this fragrance since I was in high school. So when I first wore this fragrance, I did pick up way more of the tea, and just it made it super unique. It was kind of like a green tea, just relaxing type of fragrance. Very unique. Then when I started getting into perfumes and reviewing and just growing my collection, when I would wear this one, I would get so much orange blossom. And lately, I'm not the biggest fan of orange blossom. I've been kind of struggling with it a little bit. I'm not getting as much orange blossom in here like I used to, so that's fine. I'm starting to get a little bit more of the tea again. It's so good. It's like, it's feminine, but not too feminine, and it's more of like a definitely an aromatic relaxing spa type of fragrance. It's very different, really, really nice. I love this one. So here we have Coach Floral Blush. You guys, this is such a hidden gem, I would say, because I don't hear many people talk about this fragrance, and this is gorgeous. I believe there's goji berries in here, and if I'm not mistaken, it might be grapefruit that it opens with. I don't remember. Such a gorgeous scent. It is girly, it's soft, it's sweet, it's floral, but nothing is too over the top. And then there is something in here that kind of makes it a little bit just more grown up. So it is very girly, fun, flirty, but then it also has like a grown up side to it. And I just feel like it's gorgeous. Not too many people talk about this one, and it is a floral. But I'm not really a floral person. So the actual Coach fragrance, the one that comes with like the black part here, that one gave me the worst headache of my life. I still remember we were in the car and that fragrance was just a bomb to my nose. This one, it's just balanced out in such a great way that I get florals, but then I get like citrusy, fruity vibes from it. It's refreshing. It's really, really nice. Very like ladylike to me and just perfect. You can wear this to work. You can wear it to go to the mall, to go do your nails, pretty much to anything. It's a very, very nice feminine, fruity floral fragrance. So I definitely recommend checking out Coach Floral Blush. And then the last one, which I think this is going to be a declutter, I didn't really enjoy it too much, is Lancome La Vie Belle Intensement. I think I'm only going to be keeping in Rose and Intense, which smells kind of like Girl of Now type of vibes. This one, I don't know. I wore it twice so far, and I'm not really, it's not bad. It's not a bad fragrance, but it's just not doing it for me. I remember loving this so much when I first got it, and lately I'm just not vibing with it. I don't know, but it's fine because I need to make up space. So before I change up my mind, this is probably going to be a declutter. It's kind of like the original La Vie Belle. It's like a very warm fragrance. It's sweet, but this one has raspberry. So that's kind of like what's added into this one. And it makes it very fruity, but you still get like the warmth and the deepness of it at the same time. So it's definitely a very nice fragrance for evening time if you want to smell flirty, like sexy for a date. This will definitely work. I just feel like I prefer the In Rose. That's like my all-time favorite flanker from the La Vie Belle line. So this one is going to be leaving my collection. And with that is the end of my first update for my perfume tray. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below how you feel about some of these fragrances. Do you love them? Do you hate them? I love to hear your thoughts. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Hace mucho tiempo la